After Gojo unleashed a Black Flash against Sukuna. Sukuna passed out but before he completely lose on Gojo. The wheel of Mahoraga completed its spin. Gojo didn't expect that Mahoraga already adopts to his infinity. Mahoraga able to deal damage against Gojo. Yuji, Yuta, and Hikari was shocked when they saw Mahoraga manage to penetrate Gojo's infinity. But Yuji still believes that even after Mahoraga adopts on Gojo's infinity, Yuji thinks that the fight is still equal and Gojo still not going to lose. Shoko noticed that Gojo's regeneration started to slow. Shoko added that Gojo's reversed curse technique in red is definitely weakens. Shoko is worried against Gojo's current situation. But she believes that it's the same against Sukuna. After Sukuna takes a damage on his brain after using his domain expansion for 5 times. But the idea of Gojo might lose against the King of Curses pumps on their mind right now. Even Gojo thinks that he might lose against Sukuna this time. Gojo started to remembers Toji. Gojo's situation is similar after he faced Toji before. But the feeling that he might lose. Gojo feels an intense satisfaction. Because after Gojo becomes strong he never feel again the rush and excitement. Gojo's current situation gives him a satisfaction. That fight against Sukuna gives Gojo a rush of excitement. That he never feels for a long time. Gojo surely have a mixed feelings right now. Gojo rushed on Mahoraga and attack him. Mahoraga can't stop Gojo's continuous attack against him. Until Gojo managed to take down Mahoraga. Mahoraga is on the floor after Gojo's continues attacks on him. Gojo simply overpowering Mahoraga even though he can adopts on Gojo's infinity. We can see on Mahoraga's reaction that he was hurt on Gojo's attack. Gojo performs an incantation and Hikari and Shoko was surprised. And Gojo used the curse technique reversal to restore his decreasing power. And Sukuna started to regain his consciousness after he was passed out on Gojo's Black Flash. Sukuna used Rabbit Escape on Mahoraga to disrupt Gojo's red and to protect Mahoraga against Gojo's attack. Gojo said to Sukuna that his Black Flashed is effective against him. And Gojo added to Sukuna that how much longer he would rest after he takes Gojo Black Flashed. Clearly that Black Flash that Sukuna received almost caused him a defeat. But thanks to Mahoraga's arrival, the fight still continue. Gojo unleashed his red even though the Rabbit Escape disrupted him. Gojo's red attack caused a huge explosion. The debris was falling but the fight still continue. Mahoraga didn't get much damage against the red of Gojo because of the Rabbit Escape. Gojo noticed that Sukuna uses Mahoraga on offense and Sukuna's duty is to protect Mahoraga. Sukuna makes sure that Mahoraga will not destroyed. So Mahoraga's adaptation on Gojo's infinity would utilized against Gojo. Sukuna used the fire extinguisher that he picked up and throw it against Gojo and he made it explodes. To cover Mahoraga and surprise Gojo. Mahoraga is already above of Gojo and prepares to attack him. Sukuna makes sure that Mahoraga have an opening against his opponent. But Gojo still composed after he faced 2 enemies at the same time. Chozu was surprised when he saw Sukuna's stance. Sukuna's stance is like a piercing blood stance that the Kamo clan's ability. Sukuna aims to attack Gojo. But instead of blood was shoot, it's actually a water from the 10 Shadows technique. From Max Elephant's water. Sukuna can use the ability of the Max Elephant without summoning it. While Gojo was busy blocking Mahoraga's attack. Sukuna's attacks him too. Using the piercing water of Max Elephant. Sukuna doesn't want Gojo to have a breathing room. Gojo was hit by Sukuna's attack and Mahoraga is going to attack him again. Gojo is in bad situation right now after he fought 2 opponents at the same time. Gojo avoids the attack coming from Mahoraga. And he started to realize that Sukuna is not simply using Mahoraga for attacks. Sukuna uses Mahoraga's adaptation on Gojo's infinity to his advantage. While Gojo infinity was erased by Mahoraga. That is the perfect time to launch Sukuna an attack against him. And Gojo admits that Sukuna was really a talented Jujutsu sorcerer. Because Sukuna uses the Max Elephant's ability without summoning it. And use its ability like a piercing blood. Unlike Megumi he needs to call the Max Elephant before he can use its ability. On the other hand Sukuna managed to use its ability and combined it to another technique. Gojo is in a tight spot now. But still he is not in panic even he's in bad situation. He analyzed the situation to avoid the worst case scenario. But Sukuna still didn't want Gojo to have an advantage against him, and interrupts Gojo while he is analyzing the situation. Sukuna said on Gojo, "Don't misunderstand. This isn't a 2 against 1. And Sukuna used new totality to summon another new Shikigami. Sukuna calls Fusion Beast Agito. Agito's appearance is like a merge of every beast from the 10 Shadows technique. This is a 3 against 1, said by Sukuna on Gojo. But Gojo didn't shocked and he calls Sukuna's like a lost little alien. Even though Gojo is facing 3 enemies right now, he still have a confidence. But Sukuna still smiling and he thinks that he has the upper hand on this fight. Mahoraga and Agito starts attacking Gojo but he still managed to avoid every attack of this 2 Shikigami. But suddenly Sukuna appears on Gojo's shadow and prepares another piercing water attack just like before. Gojo notices Sukuna and counters Sukuna using a punch. Sukuna managed to dodge Gojo's punch, and Mahoraga and Agito is already surrounded Gojo. Gojo managed to jump out after Agito and Mahoraga surrounds him. Gojo unleashed another red directly against Mahoraga. Mahoraga successfully hit directly of Gojo's red attack. But Mahoraga able to withstand the red this time. And Gojo was surprised when he saw that Mahoraga already adopted on his red. Gojo realized that Sukuna keeps pushing to attacks him relentlessly. That's why he's planning to takes down Mahoraga in just one shot in his next attack. Gojo was smiling while he's preparing to takes down Mahoraga using his unlimited hollow technique. Gojo's unlimited hollow technique might change the situation of this fight.